Hello everyone, this is Dr. Alex Avila with Love University, and we're back. I'm an author, psychologist, and speaker. Every week we talk about how to love ourselves, others, and a higher nature, how to improve our career, spirituality, finances, relationships, health, and happiness. And we've been talking about my book, Invincible You. Discover your inner power and achieve your heart's desires, which has lessons on how to be invincible, how to triumph beyond obstacles and problems to be the best you can possibly be. We've been talking about the weaknesses of life, the mental, inferior aspects of mind that keep you down. And today's weakness that we need to master is called the regret weakness. This is a weakness that ties you to the past and makes you suffer for every real or imagined mistake you have ever made. The regret weakness is the insidious thought that you have screwed up your life and made a mess of it because of your past mistakes. It is relentless in telling you that you can never repair the damage that you have done. You will always feel like a loser because of the errors and blunders you have made and will continue to make. The trickiest thing about the regret weakness is that when you feel bad about your choices, you tend to repeat the same mistakes because you don't feel worthy enough or smart enough to do any better. Your emotional tie to the past ends up destroying your feelings of self-worth. The regret weakness will make you see yourself as weak or a loser in a specific area, for example, in relationships or business or finances. The regret weakness will home in on your self-attacking thought that you should have done better. Of course, everyone makes mistakes. Your judgment is sometimes clouded, your willpower may be weak. The problem is not the mistake per se, but it's your reaction to the mistake. The self-attacks that are engineered by the self-defeating mind, which tells you that you're inferior, foolish, or inadequate because of your mistakes. The solution is to realize that this self-accusation has nothing to do with the real you, and it has nothing to do with who you are today. When you're guided by your invincible mind, you can learn from your mistakes, and you can improve on your past. You can face the future with optimism and hope. One important tool to defeat the regret weakness is to allow yourself to go back temporarily to what you did before. Many times people take an all-or-nothing perfectionistic approach to their weakness or bad habits. They think, either I must completely change my old negative habit today or I'm a failure. The better approach is to allow yourself to go back, to give yourself a break if you do fall back into an old temptation, bad habit, or negative behavior. Instead of condemning yourself as a weak or unworthy person, practice self-compassion and tell yourself that you can get back on track and be a stronger person as a result of the temporary step back. When you're too hard on yourself for returning to a negative behavior or destructive habit or addiction or dangerous behavior, you will tend to fall into an emotional place of weakness and regret. As a result, you're likely to repeat the same self-defeating actions that made you feel weak in the first place because you don't believe you deserve any better. The truth is that you probably didn't develop a weakness or bad habit overnight. It took you many steps to slide down into this desert of weakness to reach this stage. Because you fell down little by little, you need to gradually pull yourself up a little bit each time. When you think about the regret weakness, always remember this. Weakness attracts more weakness. Let's say that you're trying to quit drinking energy drinks because they contain a lot of sugar and they're not healthy for you and make you gain weight. You make an oath to yourself, I'm quitting. You're fine going several days without drinking one, but then on a hot, stressful day, you yield to temptation and you have an energy drink. But you feel bad about your choice to indulge in the energy drink, and the regret weakness taunts you. It says, you blew your regimen. You have no discipline. You might as well drink another one. Now, if you believe what the regret weakness is telling you, that you lack self-discipline, you may be tempted to go back to drinking energy drinks. You're caught now in a downward spiral of weakness. Things are much better when you allow yourself to go back and forgive yourself for a previous error or lapse in judgment. You can move on from the temporary lack of willpower to go back to your discipline plan immediately. You know that you can still make progress toward a healthier lifestyle. Now, I'm going to give you, readers, listeners, and audience, an exercise that I believe can help you quite a bit to master the regret weakness. And I'm going to use Reggie, my producer here, to help us out. Hi, Reggie. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Okay. This exercise, Reggie, is called Recreate a Memory, the Reimprinting Experience. One of the problems that we face in achieving invincibility is to deal with bad memories and regrets from our past that keep intruding in our consciousness, making us feel weak and defeated. So this is an exercise that's going to help you master that. So Reggie, I want you to think in step one of a situation that didn't work out the way you wanted it to. I know you've been having issues with finding the right woman, and you've been going on some dates. And I think you mentioned one time you met someone who was like put you in the friend zone, and you wanted more from this person. So Reggie, I want you to recall what that looked like, sounded like, and felt like. What were your facial expressions like? What was your level of calmness or agitation? How was about your tone of voice? How did the other person respond to you? Tell me a little bit about that experience.
Well, I don't know. I guess it's just very it looked like I was disappointed, and my voice too kind of like stilted, just like okay, I just got dejected.
Now I think you said you were sitting in the car with this person. Tell us some more about where you were.
So yeah, well, we were in the car or whatever, just on the street or whatever, and just it was dark, it was late, so yeah.
What was the overall feeling that you had when she turned you down, apparently to be more than a friend?
Oh, like I said, disappointed, and yeah, it's not a good feeling, you know?
Okay, Reggie, I think you're almost crying, but it's okay. All right, now, Reggie, I want you to take a deep breath now. Breathe deeply. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Center yourself in your mind. Look for any parts of your body that have tension and relax them. Visualize that the tension in your body is slowly melting like butter. Now imagine that you're standing upright and you feel balanced, confident, and relaxed. Okay, take a deep breath. Reggie, how do you feel now?
Good, very good.
Okay, you're standing strong. Now, Reggie, I want you to re-experience the situation that you had with this woman from a higher mental place. I want you to go back mentally now with your eyes closed. Imagine yourself in the past, except this time, see yourself acting in the way you would act if you had the knowledge of today. As a wiser, more experienced, and stronger person. Hear yourself speaking in a more sincere, powerful, and confident tone. Observe the benefits that occur as you relive the scenario. So imagine yourself going back in time with this woman and saying the things you really wanted to say that you didn't say, and feeling the confidence that you have today as you grow as a human being. Tell me a little bit of what that was like, Reggie, now that you went back in time.
Well, it was fine. It was just like, okay, that's fine. I understand, you know, just like, you know, sucks for you kind of, you know?
Okay. So you felt that she lost an opportunity to get to know a great guy like you, and that you're not sad about it, you're not disappointed, or you don't feel rejected. How do you feel now?
Better now, yeah. Like, I'm like, yeah, sucks for her.
Okay. And at the same time, you've grown as a human being, right? So you can be a better partner in the future. Now, this is the kind of exercise that you can use to change your past. Instead of feeling regret about the past, you have imprinted a new thought in your mind, which is called loving memory. Loving memory is the wisdom that you gain from any experience. Whether you call what happened to you good or bad, this wisdom ultimately helps you become a more loving person toward yourself and others. Now, in the future, when you suffer pain, you will take the lesson from the pain and transform it into a valuable piece of wisdom, this loving memory. This wisdom will restructure your previous bad memory and leave you feeling a positive energy and a memory about the experience that is good. And it takes the place of the previous bitter and regretful memory you had before. So the goal is to live a regret-free life. How do we do that? First of all, when you forgive yourself for your past mistakes, you recognize the lessons you have learned, and you avoid repeating the same mistakes. Your goal is to improve the way you react to your environment and life situations. As a result, you feel better about yourself in the process. You become stronger and more determined. You're able to withstand the temptation to go back to your old self-defeating ways, such as procrastination, bad habits, and poor relationship choices. So Reggie, looking back now, how did you react the first time when you heard that she wasn't interested in you in a romantic way?
Well, like I said, I was disappointed and confused, you know? I didn't know what to make of it.
Okay, did you feel less of yourself at the time, that she didn't like you?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so the key is that that's the past, right? But today, having learned this new experience, right, this new you can go back and recreate that memory in a more positive way. So you left her with confidence and your own inner value, and also giving her respect as well. Now, always remember that when you're under the influence of your self-defeating mind, it's like being hypnotized by an evil magician. The magician makes you do things that are harmful to you, but you can't seem to resist it. Once you break free of the spell, however, you're no longer hypnotized. You no longer condemn yourself for your past. You realize that at the time, you couldn't have acted any better because you were under the spell of a negative influence. Now that you have broken free, you awaken to your true self, your invincible mind, and you no longer hate yourself for something you did in the past. When you are freed from your old hypnotized self, you break your connection with the past and the mistakes you have made. You see yourself differently. You no longer label yourself as destructive, weak, or stupid. Instead, you recognize your invincible self. From this day forward, listeners, I want you to be aware when the regret weakness tries to push itself into your mind and tries to make you feel weak and inadequate because of your past mistakes. If you catch the regret weakness trying to enter you, quickly switch your mindset from regret, if only I had done this differently, to hope, next time I will do better. Don't waste mental energy brooding over past events, decisions, and actions. Look forward instead of backwards. Always head toward next time the best and most optimistic place you can possibly be. So listeners, this week, I want you to go out there and say, I'm going to have a regret-free week. Whatever I do in life, I'm going to do with full conviction, with full power, and with full presence, realizing that this is who I am. This is my authenticity. If I make a so-called mistake or things don't work out the way I want, I will learn from the experience. I will grow. I will do something different next time, but I will never regret if I did something with true authenticity. Love University students, if you want to be on the show, if you have a show idea, if you want to comment on today's show, you can reach us at loveuniversity.love. Write to us at loveuniversitylove@gmail.com. Call us at 310-226-8090. You can subscribe to us on Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, and SoundCloud. You can also like us on Facebook at Love University Podcast, or follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Love Letter U Podcast. If you want to pick up a copy of the book, Invincible You, you can do so at Amazon.com and BarnesandNobles.com. And this book can be very helpful to help you transform into that powerful, loving, invincible person that can thrive and do the best you can despite the circumstance or obstacle. So Love University students, until next time, put away your notebooks, your iPads, your phones. This is Dr. Alex Avila with Love University.